Foremost, I hope that you, your loved ones, your community members are all safe right now.
Thank you very much. It's touch and go. It's been a pretty interesting 48 hours with a huge storm coming our way, and now we're in the aftermath of that and trying to assess the damage. So thank you for giving attention to it.
Absolutely. What do you know so far about the situation? How bad is it?
You know, it's really bad. It's in some areas it's extremely bad. Some areas not as bad. Um, but you know, we haven't had a storm of this magnitude since the mid 1800s. We have massive power outages. We've got significant damage done to properties. We have at least one fatality at this point, and we're still assessing the damages throughout the entire state. In my congressional district alone, we've got significant power outages. Many of the parishes that I represent along the river and the river parishes have suffered tremendous damage, and we are quickly getting resources on the ground as we speak. Fortunately, the federal government stepped in right away. The president signed a declaration which unlocks federal dollars, which gives us the opportunity to have boots on the ground, if you will, to provide resources to people who are in need.
Yeah, we're so glad to know that that money is going to come almost immediately, as quickly as possible. But can you tell us about this lack of power situation? Because I'm wondering about what happens to people in hospitals. And we know there's so much crowding with COVID and people needing respirators, which of course needs power. Some of them, of course, are on backup generators. But how long can you sustain like that without having power? And do you have any idea of when you'll be getting power back?
You know, I'm reluctant to say because we haven't gotten any firm numbers as to how long. It could be days, could be weeks. Fortunately, hospitals, as you mentioned, hospitals and nursing facilities do have backup generation, and so those are in place. Not the best situation, and certainly the power people will be working feverishly to get those critical infrastructure facilities back up and going just as fast as possible, as well as residents. We know that people throughout the state, it's hot in New Orleans and in Louisiana in the month of August. So being without power is certainly uncomfortable and unhealthy in many cases, because there are people that have issues that require them to have access to electricity, like our elderly, our senior citizens, and people who may have other physical or ailments. So there's some 20,000 or 18,000 linemen that are on the ground now that are out working on power lines feverishly to try and get some temporary service and transmission up until they can come up with a more permanent fix. We've asked people to be very careful to not go out. I know the temptation to go out is real. The sun is shining and it appears to be just a nice day. And I know being cooped up in the house has been uncomfortable, but I'm begging you, please stay inside. It's much safer inside. We don't know what's beyond the next turn. We know there's a lot of standing water, and although there's no power going to people's homes, many of those lines are broken and may still be live. So as you approach a line, we don't know if it's live, and it could be very, very dangerous.
Absolutely. Congressman, we